The wind howled through the empty lot of Rosa J. Gas Auto, the kind of small-town station that hadn't seen a credit card chip reader in years. It was near closing time, and the last thing Jake Harris needed was more trouble. His hands were stained with motor oil, his back ached from the double shift, and his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, was waiting in the corner of the shop, coloring quietly with crayons they could barely afford. That's when she pulled in. A cherry red '67 Mustang, coughing and sputtering like it hadn't had a proper tune-up since disco died, rolled up to the garage. The woman behind the wheel had designer sunglasses, sharp heels, and an expression that didn't quite match her car. Troubled, cool, almost amused. But Jake didn't notice her appearance so much as the sound of the engine. He could tell she'd barely made it off the highway. He wiped his hands on a rag and walked over. "Looks like she's running on hope and fumes," he said with a half-smile. The woman stepped out. "Yeah, well, Hope's been doing the heavy lifting lately." Jake opened the hood and leaned in. "I can get her running again. Might take a bit. You're lucky you made it here." She watched him closely, then glanced at Lily, who peeked up from her coloring book. "That your daughter?" "Yeah," Jake replied. "Lily, she hangs out here after school. Her mom passed a few years ago. It's just us." The woman didn't say anything for a moment. Then, "I'm sorry." "That can't be easy." Jake shrugged. "We get by." He didn't ask her name, didn't wonder why a woman with $1,000 heels was alone in a broken-down classic. Instead, he got to work, focused and quiet. An hour passed. Lily offered the woman a crayon drawing. She accepted it with a smile that seemed to crack her careful exterior. "Thanks, sweetheart. I love the sparkly unicorn," she said softly, kneeling down. "You're quite the artist." Jake overheard and chuckled. "She wants to be an animator someday. Pixar or bust." When the job was done, Jake wiped his brow and stepped back. "She's all set. New plugs, tighten the belt, and the radiator should hold for now. Just don't take her cross-country until you get a full tune-up." The woman hesitated. "How much do I owe you?" Jake looked at her for a moment, then shook his head. "Call it a good deed. It's been a rough week." "Feels nice to help someone." She blinked. "You're sure?" "Yeah," he said, glancing at Lily. "Trying to teach her that kindness is worth more than money." The woman stared at him for a long time. "That's rare," she said quietly. She got into her car, the engine now purring like it should have all along. As she rolled down the window, she added, "You may have just changed more than you know." Jake smiled and waved, watching the Mustang disappear down the road, not thinking much of it again. 3 days later, everything changed. He was in the garage when a black SUV pulled up. Out stepped a suited man with a crisp envelope. "Are you Jake Harris?" Jake nodded, cautiously. The man handed him the envelope. "This is from Miss Hartwell." "Who?" The man smiled. "Amelia Hartwell, CEO of Hartwell Industries." Jake blinked. That name, it was everywhere. Global tech, media, aerospace, a billion-dollar empire. Inside the envelope was a letter. "Jake, you reminded me what real humanity looks like. You didn't know who I was. You didn't care. You just helped. That kind of heart is rare. I want to help, too." A trust fund has been set up for Lily's education, fully covered through graduate school. Additionally, I've arranged for a full grant to upgrade your shop, new equipment, energy-efficient systems, even a proper waiting area for kids like Lily. Sometimes we forget that the world can be good. Thank you for reminding me. Let's pay it forward together, Amelia. Jake stood there, stunned. Lily tugged at his sleeve. "Dad, you broken bar, are you crying?" He knelt down, pulled her into a hug, and whispered, "No, baby girl, just really happy." In a world where so much is judged by what you wear, what you drive, or what your bank account says, Jake Harris taught the billionaire the value of simple kindness. He gave what little he had. She gave back what she never forgot she had. And together, they proved that compassion has a ripple effect money can't buy. Because sometimes, the smallest acts of humanity unlock the biggest doors. The envelope sat on the workbench for hours after the man left. Jake read the letter again and again, tracing the clean loops of Amelia's signature like it held a secret code. He didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or run out onto the street shouting. Lily was already drawing again, this time a picture of Daddy's new shop, complete with sparkles, robots, and a vending machine that only gave oat candy. He let her believe it. For the first time in years, it didn't feel like a fantasy. But Jake couldn't shake the disbelief. He'd known kindness mattered. He just never imagined it would echo like this. That night, while Lily slept on the couch with a blanket over her, Jake opened his laptop, at the same one with the cracked screen and keys that stuck out, and typed Hartwell Industries into the search bar. There she was, Amelia Hartwell, Forbes cover, philanthropist, billionaire innovator. But more than that, he read about her childhood, orphaned young, raised by a single aunt in a small town, worked her way through college waiting tables. No wonder the coloring page from Lily had struck a chord. The next morning, the calls began. First a project manager from Hartwell Industries, then an architect, then a banker. They spoke words like renovation phases, grant execution, media discretion, and long-term partnership opportunities. Jake was still trying to figure out how to work the espresso machine that Amelia had sent with the first wave of tools. But behind it all, Jake stayed grounded. He still fixed up old cars, still let Lily sit in the corner with her crayons, still handed out free oil changes to old Mrs. Parkins, who brought him pie every Thursday. He hadn't changed, but everything around him had. Then came the second visit. A week after the renovation began, the red Mustang returned. This time, it purred into the parking lot like it had just rolled off a showroom floor. Amelia stepped out, dressed not in heels or sunglasses, but jeans and a windbreaker. She looked normal, like someone trying to blend in. Jake wiped his hands on his rag and gave her a slow nod. Was wondering if I'd see you again. Amelia smiled. Figured I owed you at least a thank you in person. Plus, my spark plug light came on, and I thought, why not let the best mechanic in the state take a look? Jake laughed. You know you've got an entire fleet of engineers now, right? She shrugged. Yeah, but none of them offered to help me when I was stranded on the side of the road, or refused my money. There was a beat of silence, not awkward, just full of something unspoken. Two people from different worlds, connected by a moment of honesty in a tired old garage. So, Jake said, tapping the hood, let's take a look under the engine. Again, Amelia leaned back against the car, arms folded. Actually, I was thinking, what if we built something together? Jake raised a brow. Like a car? No, she said, like a program for kids, families like yours, mechanics, apprenticeships, a real chance at something better. You've got the heart, I've got the means. What do you say? Jake stared at her, the weight of the offer settling like fresh snow, quiet, powerful, and beautiful. He didn't answer right away, but Lily's laugh rang from the garage bay where she was spinning on a stool. Jake smiled. Yeah, I think we can build something.